When people talk about Canada on the world stage, they often use words like peacekeeper or supporting role. But in 2006, Canada did something very different. We led one of the most important and hardest-fought battles of the Afghanistan war, and we won. No headlines, no victory parade, and no demand for a thank you. By 2006, the war in Afghanistan was reaching a critical point. The Taliban had regrouped, entrenched themselves in southern Afghanistan, and were openly challenging NATO forces. The Panjwai district, just outside Kandahar, had become a Taliban stronghold, heavily fortified, well-armed, and strategically vital. NATO needed decisive action, and Canada stepped up. Operation Medusa was launched in September 2006, and it marked a turning point in the war. It was the first major NATO-led ground combat offensive of the entire conflict. Canada wasn't just participating, we were leading. Thousands of Canadian troops, supported by NATO allies, advanced into Panjwai against a determined Taliban force prepared for a conventional fight. This wasn't hit-and-run guerrilla warfare. It was trench lines, coordinated attacks, heavy weapons, and brutal close combat. Canadian soldiers faced intense resistance and held the line. The fighting was fierce and relentless. Taliban forces launched counterattacks, used fortified positions, and fought hard to hold ground. But Canadian troops adapted, pushed forward, and broke the Taliban's grip on the region. By the end of Operation Medusa, the Taliban had suffered devastating losses. Their control over Panjwai was shattered, and NATO had proven it could take and hold territory. It was a clear battlefield victory. Operation Medusa changed how NATO fought in Afghanistan. It restored momentum, strengthened Allied confidence, and showed that Canada could lead high-intensity combat operations, not just support them. Our soldiers proved they were professional, capable, and resilient under the most extreme conditions. And they did it without fanfare. Canada never asked for recognition, never demanded applause, and never needed a thank you. But history should remember this. When NATO needed leadership, Canada answered. When the fight was hardest, Canadian troops stood firm. Operation Medusa wasn't just a battle, it was a statement.